It was just one elephant, Madhuri, being moved. But it shook an entire city. Her transfer sparked massive protests in Kolhapur, ignited a viral social media movement, and led to calls to boycott one of India's largest corporations. How could the fate of a single animal unleash such emotion? How could it pit ancient faith against modern law, tradition against animal welfare? This is not just the story of an elephant, but of India itself, caught between devotion and progress. For the villagers of Nandani, Madhuri was a living deity, the soul of their temple. For animal rights activists, her captivity was cruelty, no matter how well-intentioned. The question, who decides what's best for a creature that cannot speak, the worshippers or the experts? Madhuri's transfer was meant as welfare, but it became a battle for the soul of a community. Saffron-robed monks led marches, tech-savvy youth coordinated boycotts, and politicians scrambled to respond. The government was trapped between enforcing the law and facing public outrage. Madhuri's story became a national debate about faith, welfare, and the painful process of change in modern India. To understand the uproar, you must understand the bond. Madhuri was not just an elephant, she was a sacred icon for Nandani's villagers and the Sri Padmavati temple. Gifted as a calf, she grew up as the centerpiece of every festival, draped in silks, showered with devotion. Her presence was believed to bring blessings and prosperity. She was bathed, fed sweets, and revered as a living embodiment of faith. For the Jain community, she was family. When news of her transfer broke, the pain was immediate and deep, like losing a beloved child. Outsiders saw captivity, locals saw worship. The villagers measured her well-being in devotion, not in medical reports. To them, Madhuri was living the most blessed life possible. The idea that her care could be harmful was unthinkable. She was the temple's living heart, and they were her guardians. Outside the temple, a different story emerged, one grounded in science. PETA India petitioned the Bombay High Court, arguing Madhuri was suffering despite the community's love. Health inspections revealed painful foot problems, poor diet, and psychological stress from isolation. Elephants are social animals. Solitary life is unnatural and harmful. The temple argued their love was enough, offering to improve her care. But the court sided with science, ruling Madhuri's welfare came first. She was ordered to be relocated to a facility where she could heal and live among other elephants. The law had spoken, but for Kolhapur, the fight was just beginning. Madhuri's new home was Vantara, a world-class rescue center in Gujarat run by Reliance Foundation. There she received medical care, a new diet, and the company of other elephants. Vantara's narrative was one of rescue and renewal. But in Kolhapur, it was seen as a gilded cage, a place that had stolen their goddess. Videos of her new life did little to ease the community's anger. For them, scientific care felt cold compared to the warmth of devotion. The fact that Vantara was run by a corporate giant only deepened suspicion. Jain leaders argued that spiritual well-being mattered as much as physical health. The community rejected the court's verdict and Vantara's story. Madhuri's care became a tale of two realities, scientific welfare and spiritual loss. The court's decision sparked a movement. The day Madhuri left, Kolhapur erupted. 30,000 people marched in silence, demanding her return. Shops closed, the city paused, united in grief and protest. Online, #BringBackMadhuri trended nationwide. Supporters shared memories, contrasting temple joy with Vantara's clinical care. The movement became a rallying cry for tradition under threat. News channels showed weeping devotees and monks leading prayers. For many, this was not about animal rights. It was about family. The authorities were stunned by the scale of the uprising. The people had lost in court, but they were determined to win in the court of public opinion. The fight for Madhuri became a symbol of resilience. The battle was far from over. The movement escalated. Activists launched #BoycottGeo, targeting Reliance, Vantara's backer, with a consumer boycott. The message, free Madhuri or face economic consequences. Simultaneously, a massive petition drive gathered signatures for the President of India. The protests became a political issue. State ministers promised action, and the government filed a review petition. The fight was no longer just about faith or welfare, it was about political capital. The government's support gave the movement new legitimacy. The battle lines were drawn, people and politicians versus the court, animal welfare laws, and Vantara. The struggle for Madhuri had become a national standoff. The stakes had never been higher. In search of compromise, Vantara proposed a satellite rehab center in Nandani Modern Care, but close to her community. As of August 2025, Madhuri remains at Vantara, her health improving, but her story unresolved. Legal battles continue, and the proposal for a local center hangs in limbo. Madhuri lives in one world, but her heart and thousands of others remains in another. Her story is an allegory for India's struggle between tradition and modernity. It asks, what is true compassion? The comfort of devotion or the welfare prescribed by science? Can faith and animal welfare ever truly coexist? The path forward is uncertain. Should Madhuri return to the temple risking her health? Stay at Vantara separated from her people? Or is a hybrid solution possible? In a land of ancient traditions and modern aspirations, how do we balance the needs of the soul with the needs of the body? What should happen next?